We're back with another Worth the Calories video, episode 9. Please make sure if you're enjoying these, you give the channel a little subscribe, a like, a comment would always be good as well. And tell people about The Real Lost Boss on YouTube. That would be amazing. In today's episode, we've got some rather bougie stroke posh ready meals for you to have a look at. And then a couple of things that might help with the old sweet cravings. So as I always say, without further ado, let's see if the food in this episode is worth the calories. First up for this episode, we've been to M&S. A little bit bougie, I know. And I've grabbed a couple of their ready meals. Now, I have said in previous, or in a previous episode, I don't really eat ready meals, but they are a good option if you're short on time, good for convenience, and obviously M&S are top quality. So this is their chicken ramen bowl, and I grabbed it because it was a whoopsie sticker on it. Yes, reduced from £5.50 to £3.80. So not cheap at £3.80. Certainly not cheap at £5.50. But like I say, M&S is pretty decent. Microwaves in 4 minutes, high in protein. And do you know what? This is 308 calories. 308 calories for 38 grams of protein, which is just amazing. For 400 grams of food, so it's a pretty decent sized portion. Right, without further ado, I'm going to go and nuke it. And then I'll be back. And the big question is it worth the calories? We are back with a nuke to perfection chili chicken ramen bowl. It smells really good. It does smell good. Honestly, M&S is normally top drawer in it for stuff like this. So, what have we got in it? I didn't read that out before. A spicy fusion of ramen noodles, pak choy, bean sprouts with chili chicken in a rich broth. Like I say, 308 calories, 38 grams of protein, 4 grams of fibre. For 400 grams of food, you do need to look at the volume, good portion size. Right, let's get in there. We've got a bit of everything on here, a little bit of everything on here. Please excuse me slurping, but let's give it a go. As always, got to go in twice. Going in with a bit of a bigger whack this time. It's hot. The chili has just whacked the back of my throat. Oh, bang. Like all ready meals for me, I think it's because I'm a salt fiend. All ready meals have a lot of salt in. So this has got nearly 3 grams of salt in it. And why ready meals have a lot of salt in, it's not really a flavour enhancer, as it were. It's actually a natural kind of preservative is one of the main reasons. It's got a kick. It really has got a kick. That broth is nice. It's tasty. The chicken's a bit bland, but it is just chicken. It is they call it chili chicken, but it just looks like plain chicken breast, to be honest with you, with a little bit of something on it. I don't think there's much seasoning gone on the chicken. All mixed in. It's a tasty broth. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, £5.50 is a few quid. Would I probably rather make my own ramen? And maybe. But again, why we have a ready meal is it's just convenience. And I'd much rather people go and grab something like this than, a 700, 800, 900 calorie meal deal or something like that. It's going to be a lot healthier for you and fill you up a lot more. I like it. It's fresh. It's got a crunch to the veggies. Broth's really tasty. Chicken's a bit bland. It's got a lot of salt in it, but I would actually add some extra seasoning, certainly to that chicken. 308 calories. And again, you can't space this on the macros. 308 calories for 38 grams of protein is unbelievable when it's a complete meal. Yeah, standard M&S quality. Is it worth the calories? It tastes decent. It's quite expensive. It is quite expensive, but 308 calories, 38 grams of protein for a bowl of goodness that tastes decent. Yeah, it's worth the calories. Definitely worth the calories if you get it for £3.80. It's another day, which means another M&S high protein ready meal review. We have got pasta and meatballs. Cooked pasta with beef and pork meatballs in a tomato and red pepper sauce topped with spinach. Nuked to perfection, 4.5 minutes. I will actually put pictures up of it in its unmicrowave state, unnuked state and nuked state, so you can have a look. I'll be honest with you, it's a decent sized portion, 400 grams. It looks all right. I'm like, for me personally, straight away, I'm like, I want some Parmesan cheese on it. And I've not got any. But anyway, that's before I'm even tasting it. I'm just making an assumption there. Anyway, it's 38.4 grams of protein, 7.2 grams of fibre, 424 calories, which is really, really decent, especially for a pasta dish. And it contains one of your 5 a day, which is always good to know. I said on the previous one about the salt in it. Again, this has quite a bit of salt, 1.6 grams. I mean, look, everything's only bad for us if we overconsume it. And if you drink a lot of water, you can actually have a fairly decent amount of salt in your diet. And you should have salt in your diet. You need it, right? Anyway, there we go. Not suitable for freezing. That's quite an interesting one. So if you go and buy a load of them, or you can't really go and buy a load of them. Anyway, there we go. Right, I've let it stand for a few minutes. I'm going to give it a mix up, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to give it a mix up because it looks a bit like it needs a good mix up, if that makes sense. It smells good. I'm not going to lie, it smells good. Like I said on the previous meal, the jasmine. Did I review that? I always forget to, like, when I say review, did I give it a mark out of 10? I know I'm giving it a thumbs up whether it's worth the calories or not. Anyway, the jasmine bowl that's in the previous bit, I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. After having it, I added a bit of sesame oil and a bit of soy sauce. That took it up a level. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm going to give that one a 7 out of 10. Right, anyway, I've got some pasta, I've got some sauce, I've got some meatball, I've got some spinach, all in. Could have 2. That is lovely. That is really good. That's one of the best ready meals I've had, actually. I love pasta, I love meatballs. Why it's lovely is I don't need to add anything to it. It's got the right amount of seasoning in it. The meatballs are really tasty. The tomato sauce is thick and, again, nice and tasty. The spinach is a bit, I like the thought process of, we'll whack a bit of spinach on just to up the nutritional value, but it doesn't really bring a lot. But do you know what? That's really good. And I said at the beginning, straight away, it needs some Parmesan. Parmesan would definitely enhance any pasta dish, but it doesn't need it. It really doesn't. That is really, really tasty. Yeah, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely straight off the bat. That is really, really good. 424 calories. It's a decent sized portion. It's got a decent amount of protein. It's got a decent amount of fibre in it. And it tastes good off the bat. I'm going to give that one an 8.5 out of 10. How would I judge it up? Yes, some Parmesan on it, 100%. A sprinkling of salt, only because I'm an absolute salt fiend. Yes, but it doesn't, it's not like, it's a bit bland, it's a bit boring. And it doesn't, it's absolutely fine. Could I demolish that whole tub without adding anything to it and thoroughly enjoy that meal? Yes. Could I take it to another level with a sprinkle of cheese and a sprinkling of salt? Yes. 8.5 out of 10. If I added Parmesan and added salt to it, it would be a 9.5 out of 10. It's delicious for a ready meal. It's really, really good. Worth the calories, 100%. Another day, and guess what? We've got another M&S food review. today is the turn of the tandoori chicken. And this is the last one. I'll put some pictures up of it before I've nuked it and after I've nuked it. But yeah, tandoori chicken with cauliflower pilau, coconut sauce and grilled vegetables. Now, I'm irked by it straight away. Cauliflower rice. I didn't realise it was cauliflower rice. I should have realised when it had advertised on the front 14 grams of carbs. Like, carbs are bad for us. They're not bad for us. They're really good for us. I think I've got a bit of PTSD with cauliflower rice, because when I started my weight loss journey, every Tom, Dick and Harry was doing the Atkins diet and everyone was eating cauliflower rice with curries and flipping spiralised courgette or whatever they flipping called it with the spag bowl. And yeah, I love cauliflower, but you don't need to make it into rice. Eat cauliflower. Eat some flipping rice as well. It's really good. Anyway, this pack is 368 calories, 37.6 grams of protein, so the macros are great, 6.8 grams of fibre. I've nuked it for just over 4 minutes. It smells bloody lovely. There's a nice char in there on the chicken. We've got some red bell pepper, we've got some nice chunks of red onion, we've obviously got some flavoured cauliflower rice. Oh no, what rice? But anyway, I'm not going to let it cloud my judgment. I'm going to put my PTSD to one side. It's 2 of your 5 a day, which is good. The important thing is, I suppose, is how it tastes. Right, I love coconut. I do love coconut. I know coconut can be a little bit Marmite to some people. I like coconut. And I like a spicy curry as well, but I also like a tikka masala or a korma or something like that. I like a creamy curry. I'm not one of them curries, oh, it's only a good curry if it's spicy. No, I get why people like mild curries. I like it myself. Right. So, I've got a bit of the pilau cauliflower rice. I've got a bit of everything. Could have 2. I had the meatball one yesterday, and when I looked at the meatball one, I think I said this when I was talking about it, I was like, yeah, straight away, that needs some parmesan. And when I ate it, I was like, wow, actually, that was really tasty off the bat. I've looked at this, and I'm like, that smells great. That's going to absolutely smack me in my chops with flavour. And it doesn't. It's a bit flat, if I'm being honest with you. It is a little bit flat. 1.4 grams of salt. So it's not got a ridiculous amount of salt. I mean, you might be like, that's a load of salt there. Yeah, it's not really. I think the recommended average amount of salt a day is about 6 grams. So it's got under a third. And if we class that as a main meal, that's not terrible, really. But yeah, it's a bit flat. It's a bit flat. I'm not getting much coconut. There's not a lot of, it's a little bit of spice in the sauce. You know, it's a mild curry, but when I say spice, you know, when you're having a curry, you want that garam masala, you want the turmeric, you want the cumin, you want all that to come through. The cauliflower rice doesn't really taste of cauliflower, to be honest with you. Yeah. You know, I went into this one with a little bit. Do you know what I'm going to try? I'm going to try last little bit. I'm going to get a piece of the charcoal chicken, like that's got a real good colour on it. We're going to give it one more try. All right. Flat as a pancake, that for me. I was just expecting more. It smells good, but I was expecting more. Macros on it are amazing. You know, 368 calories for 37.6 grams of protein for a main meal. Superb. But yeah, I've got to start taking in, you know, does it taste good? That has to be part of, is it worth the calories? Because the macros might be amazing, but I'm not a robot. I'm not eating here just like, oh, I've got this much protein going in. Oh, I've got this going in. Yeah, it needs to taste good as well. And for £5.50, M&S, this is a swing and a miss. Is it worth the calories? Macro-wise, of course it's worth the calories. It's fantastic. But it's £5.50 and there's no point something having great macros if it tastes bland and boring. I'm going to finish it off. I'm going to get some salt on there. I'm going to put a blob of mango chutney on there. And I might look at what else I can zhuzh it up with, because I don't waste food. But if I was sat at my desk in an office and I have no options to zhuzh it up, I would be very disappointed in that. Is it worth the calories? On this occasion, it's a thumbs down. So, after that rather bland ready meal from M&S, it's time for something a little bit sweet. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a sweet craving. And I picked these up a couple of weeks ago. And they've actually been out for a while now. They are the Fibre Now Doughnut from Aldi, which are basically a dupe of the Fibre One donuts. Yeah, it says I'm new. I think they've been in store for a bit, actually. But anyway, there we go. Maybe they've just not sold any and it's the same stock that's been there for ages. I have no idea. I quite like Fibre Now bars. Why? Because they are full of fibre. They are. And these are no different. These are literally 79 calories for 6.8 grams of fibre. So you've literally got pretty much a quarter of your daily fibre intake in this donut. Why I do that is because I know they're going to be pretty small. But what am I expecting for 79 calories? Anyway, 4 oven-baked high-fibre donuts with a chocolate-flavoured coating with coloured sugar crisps. There we go. So yeah, and that's the beauty of your Fibre One bars. Obviously, protein, very filling, very satiating. So is fibre. And if we can get something that's a bit of a sweet treat that takes away a little bit of a sweet craving, but gives us some sort of nutritional value in exchange, I'm all good with that, you know? Right, okay, so you get 4 in a box. I have no idea how much they are. They're 79 calories each, like I say, for 6.8 grams of fibre. Any protein in them? No, 1 gram. I'm not expecting any anyway, to be fair. But anyway, there we go. That is the size of the donut. So yeah, it's not very big, but like I say, it's under 80 calories. What are we expecting? Question is it worth the calories? Does it taste good? As always, can't decide off one. We need to go in for 2. Okay, so they're very chewy. What I mean by that is, I'm not going to say they're dry. They're not dry. They're just very dense. They are nothing like a donut texture. You know, like fluffy. They're basically a cake, and quite a dense cake. Which, if you're going to pack 7 grams of fibre into one of these, they're going to be quite a dense cake. Are they chocolatey? A little bit. I don't know what to say. Like, the fact that they've got 6.8 grams of fibre in them is really, really good. But yeah, I've got a bit of a sweet craving. I'm sat here, bit of a sweet craving. And has that ticked the box to get rid of my sweet craving and give me 6.8 grams of fibre? Give me 6.8 grams of fibre. I don't think it's ticked the box for me sweet craving, if I'm being honest with you. Fibre One bars, legitimate Fibre One bars, even actually the Aldi dupe Fibre One bars, which I've had them all. Yeah, I'd rather have one of them, if I'm being honest with you. A Fibre One brownie bar, you know, the brand, not the dupe. They're literally like the same calories for about 5 or 6 grams of protein, so not a million miles away. And although small, they do taste like a brownie. You know, they've got that little bit of a yeah, they tick the box. Yeah, they're just a little bit meh. Can I think of better ways to get fibre in? Yeah, lots of veggies and then spend 80 calories on a better form of chocolate. Yeah, so although you're getting a lot of fibre for not many calories, for me personally, yeah, they're just a bit rating I'm going to rate them. They're a 5 out of 10. They're not the worst thing I've ever had, but they're not the best thing I've ever had. Would I buy them again? No. Yeah, 5 out of 10. Are they worth the calories? I'm going to say, again, 2 in a row, no. Right, the Fibre Now Doughnut didn't solve the sweet craving, so I'm going to get tucked into one of these, which we picked up. Right, the Fibre Now bar didn't. Right, the Fibre Now Doughnut didn't solve the sweet craving, so I'm going to get tucked into one of these, which we've picked up. Cadburys Caramilk Mousse. 72 calories per pot. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I don't need to go into any other nutritional information. Where did we grab these from? Iceland, I think. I think we picked up in Iceland, but I assume they're available in all major supermarkets. Right, let's see if this, for 72 calories, like I say, I'm not going to go into proteins, fibre, and all this, that, and the other. It's a flipping Cadbury's mousse. Let's see if this will solve today's sweet craving. Right, come on. No messing about. Always got to be 2. That, boom, jackpot. That will do it. They're pretty small, but what you're expecting, they're literally 72 calories. Extremely sweet. Extremely indulgent. Yeah, it's gone. In a few mouthfuls. But to finish off this episode, that was definitely worth the calories. Oh, quick rating. 10 out of 10. Simple. There we go. What are you thinking? Let me know in the comments if you have tried or if you are going to try any of those products. Tell me what you think they are out of 10. And until next time, make sure you are bossing your weight loss.